In the shadow of decay I rise, typhus the herald beneath poison skies. With nerves rot I lay rust to waste, the reaper's scythe no life can escape. Beneath the flies, beneath the filth I spread the plague with the twisted will. From festering wounds corruption grows in the heart of death, God where despair flows. I am the harbinger, the bringer of disease. In Noble's name I spread death with ease. Vessels walk with me hand in hand, rivers of filth drown the land. I am typhus, master of decay. In the name of ruin I claim the day. The Imperium's light crumbles to dust. Wherever I tread, rot consumes the just. Space hulks reek of a foul rebirth, carriers of plague across the cursed earth. Beneath the flies, beneath the filth I spread the plague with a twisted will. From festering wounds corruption grows in the heart of death, God where despair flows. I am the harbinger, the bringer of disease. In Noble's name I spread death with ease. Vessels walk with me hand in hand, rivers of filth drown the land. I am typhus, master of decay. In the name of ruin I claim the day. The Imperium's light crumbles to dust. Wherever I tread, rot consumes the just. Space hulks reek of a foul rebirth, carriers of plague across the cursed earth. Beneath the flies, beneath the filth I spread the plague with a twisted will. From festering wounds corruption grows in the heart of death, God where despair flows. I am the harbinger, the bringer of disease. In Noble's name I spread death with ease. Vessels walk with me hand in hand, rivers of filth drown the land. I am typhus, master of decay. In the name of ruin I claim the day. Playlist howl, the gassing walls, vigilant tides, new light is born. Circles passing, a twisted grace. I embrace your thoughts in my golden embrace. Fear the plague fleet, fear the end. No salvation, no let to defend. I am typhus, reaper of dread. Bow to Nurgle, embrace the dead.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the Disgustingly Resilient podcast. How is everybody doing today? Hope we're all having a good day. And welcome to another episode of Plague Surgery. So Plague Surgery is, for people who don't know, maybe you're new to the stream. First, hi, I'm Aiden, how you doing? Basically, this is the stream on this channel where we look at our members, our Plague members, the guys who support this channel, can submit their list on our Discord, and we go through them, look at some of them, and basically try and give feedback, opinions, like if it's a good list, what people want some advice on certain things, we can do those kind of like, basically it's feedback, it's list reviews pretty much. And so that's something that we do on this channel. If you do enjoy the content on this channel, please remember to leave a like and a subscribe. And if you really enjoy the content, maybe you yourself would like your list reviewing, consider hitting the join button below, becoming a Plague Marine. It is £3 a month, so it's less than a coffee these days. And you get access to our Discord, you get access to the Plague Surgery streams, a giveaway which has just ended as well. Let's have a quick look at who won those giveaways. We had two giveaways that have just ended. One being for a £25 Warhammer gift voucher. Congratulations to Mr. Kit. Hello, Mr. Kit. I will message you after the stream tonight to get the details over to you. And we also had another giveaway for the limited Emperor's Children Army Set Codex that we have gifted to us by Sam Baldwin. Thank you very much. And that was won by Travis K. So I'll reach out to both of you tonight after stream to give you your awards, and no doubt we'll have some more giveaways going on very shortly. So congratulations to those two, and thank you for the support and congrats for your winnings. So, but yeah, how is everyone doing in the chat tonight before we sort of just dig into this? If you are in the chat and you do have a list submitted onto here, let me know. We'll try and like sort of prioritize those a little bit, because I've been getting a bit of feedback back and forth between myself and the chat. I've got quite a few people already in the chat. How are you all doing? Mr. Maz, Necromancer, Jacob, Graham, Zygon, Mr. Orange, Wannabe Day, Mike Way, Digger Denton, Nurgle Matthew, Necros, and Christos. How are you all doing? And thank you very much to 50 Shades of Trey for becoming a Plague Marine, mate. So again, once you become a Plague Marine, you can go to our YouTube channel homepage, go to our post tab, scroll down, you will find a link to join the Discord. Now that you're a member, you'll be able to see the post and get yourself in here and join all the goodness, which is awesome. Apparently people wanting more bartering power to make me eat cheese. That stream is unfortunately coming sort of soon at 10,000 subscribers. I'm going to have a cheese eating stream because I despise cheese. For those who don't know. So, up first today, just got doing well. I've got one back on March 8th for an event Saturday. Oh, nice, man. Hope you're looking forward to it. You taking Death Guard, Mr. Jacob? Doing fine. Almost can't wait till we get to know something more at the cut. Yeah, I mean, Adepticon reveal show is Wednesday, Thursday coming. So hopefully maybe we'll see some information, even if not for Death Guard, for World Eaters. The sooner we get release dates, the better. We can sort of like start planning, start knowing stuff, which would be awesome. I'd be really excited for that. I may or may not be talking to the design about a second shirt design as a giveaway. That'd be really cool, Mike. You let me know, Mr. Mike. For the people who don't know, Mike Way basically gifted us a professionally designed WWE, a professionally designed shirt for a lucky winner who was designed by a professional WWE costume designer, and he's considering trying to get us a second one of those. So that'd be a very cool giveaway gift. So yeah, that'd be awesome, mate. Otherwise, news going on in the Warhammer world. South Coast GT Super Major in the UK is wrapping up. It looks like we're going to have the finals are going to be first place Orcs, second place Orcs, third place Orcs, and then there'll be a random fourth place. That'll be AdMech. So yay, game, great, love, and all the Orc DACA detachments. So in reality, it is good, because it does mean it highlights the issue of more DACA being a bit stupid. So hopefully we'll get some changes there. But a bit depressing to see. A little bit depressing to see that the balance of the game has been damaged. Yep, there you go. Confirmed just then by Zito in the guild chat, who's just pinged me there. Lol, 3 for 3 on Orc. So yep, we are going to have a top 4 consisting of 3 Orc DACA detachments and 1 lone AdMech player. Blessings to that man, whoever you are. So it's either Ed Watts or someone else. I can't remember the second name, but again, congrats for getting AdMech up there, guys. You really deserve that. But yeah, DACA is stupid. But again, hopefully we'll get fixes. But that is not what we're here for tonight. You guys do not need another hour-long Orc rant from me. We don't need that. We're here tonight to do some plague surgery. So obviously this is actually the first plague surgery since the data slate update. So some new things to think about. Predators obviously went up in points. Haulers came down in points. The main change being the demons, really. The demon data sheets changed quite a bit. So that's quite interesting. So let's see if some people have played around with that in their list. They might not. They might have. But again, whatever works. So I'm going to start with the one I've got on screen right now, Mr. Bandit. Because it's the latest one. But again, if you are in the chat right now and you have a list on here you want me to check out, let me know. And we'll find yours and we'll go through it. So, Mr. Bandit. Fairly new to Warhammer, but doing my best to learn. Don't you worry about that. We're all learnt somewhere, mate. I literally got my head caved in like 500 times when I started, so don't worry about that. Oh, thank you very much, Lazy Chicken, for the gifted membership there. Lazy Chicken strikes again with another gifted membership. Congrats to Mr. Ollie Steele for getting that one. So, looking to head into my first RTTs this summer. Cool, excellent. I'm glad you're getting into trying out an RTT. That's awesome. Here's the list I'm looking to bring. I'm limited by budget, so can't really bring Rotigus or the Third War Dog, like the list by Grant Kaufman. Okay, so this is the LGT list that kind of we took last time. Was again created by Grant Kaufman over in the American States. So I have played this list, and this is obviously a little bit of a sling on it. Hey, you are Bandit in the Discord. Hey, Thomas, how you doing, mate? And you're here as well. So we'll do Bandit, then we'll do Honey Monster. Excellent. So we've got 2 already. So, Mr. Bandit, you've got Mortarion, really good at the moment, just super solid. Typhus, yep. Biological Putrefy Foul Blightspawn for the Plague Marine Brick. Fair play, fair play. Dual Malignant Plaguecasters are rocking the Plague Bus. We've got 2 rounds to ferry them around in. We have 2 squads of 6 Death Shroud Terminators, 2 squads of 10 Poxwalkers, 2 Fetid Bloat Drones, a Death Guard Rhino, 2 Rhinos we said, and 2 War Dog Brigands. Okay, so first things first when we talk about this list. If you're comfortable with it and your TO is comfortable with it, I would potentially, again I'm only saying this because of budget, ask if you can proxy your Poxwalkers as cultists. Cultists in general are just better because it gives you access to scoring turn 1 secondaries a lot easier. So having access to cultists over Poxwalkers would be a great thing, and it wouldn't cost you money as long as you get the okay. Again, because you're not mix matching cultists and Poxwalkers, your opponent shouldn't really have an issue with that. I would be totally fine if you would say, hey, these are cultists, I'm not running any Poxwalkers, they're all just cultists. That would be really, really cool. So that's quite nice. So consider that. And that would be a straight upgrade right there. Because again, for this list, just gives you that ability to play out a little bit more quickly. Now, the second thing I'm seeing in this list is, right now, you've got a lot of very expensive units. And that isn't bad necessarily, but in the current meta where it's going, MSU is a little bit stronger just because the damage output in the game is kind of crazy. So what I would consider as well is, if you look here, we've got 2 squads of 6 Death Shroud, but only 1 character that can potentially go with. You kind of want that -1 to wound, I'm not going to lie. It's quite good. It's quite a good importance. So what I would consider potentially doing is either cutting a Death Shroud squad down to a 3-man and putting a character in like a Lord of Contagion if you have one. A single squad of 3 Lord of Contagion slaps really, really goddamn hard. And having the access to the -1 to wound and the small unit size can be quite nice. It's just, again, you can have Typhus in the big 6-man and then a Lord of Contagion in the 3-man. That would also throw you up 30 points there. Which again doesn't exactly get you too much, but we could then consider putting like Deadly Pathogen on that Lord of Contagion to make you smack even harder. Now you've got 2 Fetid Bloat Drones. So the Bloat Drones here, again, we're talking about small things here. In this list, you don't particularly want Flesh Mowers. The only reason is because Flesh Mowers are an aggressive piece, and this, I mean, they're not bad. Okay, so let me rephrase this. They're not bad. Flesh Mowers are fine. But if you're bringing Flesh Mowers on this list, you don't use them for turn 1 doing things, because this list, the way it works, the LGT list, is basically it all exposes at once. So if you're going to bring out the Death Shroud Brick, you're going to bring out Mortarion, you're going to expose the Brigands and 2 Flesh Mowers, that's fine. The only thing is, because the Flesh Mowers are now becoming part of the exposing, because normally you'd have a Rotigus, for example, you need something that's going to be skirmishing a little better earlier on. And you can't rapid ingress both squads of Death Shroud in a turn, like 2 squads of 6 Death Shroud isn't really going to be able to do it. So what you could do is play 1 6-man brick on the board and rapid ingress the other one and just have them both exposed. But you understand, like, that's the way this list kind of functions and basically works. I do agree with Mike. Some long range should be good, but again, I remember how this list plays, Mike, and it's not like a DAC list. It's very much like a, I give you 1 turn, everything is exposed in the middle, and you kill what you kill, and whatever doesn't smashes into you. I like the Flamers just because it gives you Overwatch threat, but you do also have Overwatch threat in the big Death Shroud brick here, and the 10-man Plague Marines also can potentially have it. Now, weapons-wise, I'm not super keen on Bubotic weapons on, but again, right, so again, question for you, Bandit, what terrain format are you playing on? Because on UKTC, where I play, for example, the Plague Marines are actually better having like some melter guns in there, because you're going to be able to access that shooting a lot more. Now, if you're playing on WTC, or this unit's entire job is to just sit behind a wall on an objective and get charged with fight first, obviously, then I can understand the Bubotic weapons. So that's kind of a question for you to give me a little more info on. But if you're playing on UKTC, I'd probably go 2 Spewers, 2 melter guns, Sergeant with a heavy weapon and plasma gun. Just it gives you that more flexibility, and for a unit of Plague Marines that's that expensive, if it's going to be aggressive, it has to be able to kill in multiple phases, and a lot of the time that many melee weapons will just overkill something. But if you're playing, again, if your entire purpose of this unit is to sit behind a wall on an objective, hold it, and be unchargeable, then go with the max melee weapons. Right, cool, so for WTC, keep the melee weapons, ignore what I just said completely. And this is the interesting thing, as we talk about lists, terrain really does matter, because I played a game with Mike Way on WTC for the first ever time, and I kind of wish I just went full melee on my Plague Marines and just sat them behind a wall with fight first and was like, cool, deal with it. Because as me and Mike found out, WTC terrain is, that's dense. That's a dense boy. So, yeah, ignore what I just said there, mate. Overall, though, it's a really, really solid first list. I'm just not sure about the 6-man Death Shroud without a character. I couldn't understand like a 3-man Death Shroud without a character, but 6-man is a lot of investment to not get the most out of the rules, which kind of makes me a little bit iffy on that one there. So I would probably, like, that would be the one thing I might consider swapping out, would be the 6-man Death Shroud, either down to a 3-man with a character, or just completely break that apart and take like another drone. Yes, Mike, I might remember fights first then. You go for like another drone or like some extra scoring pieces. But I also totally understand the desire to like have those 2 big bricks, because they are still scary. And it's not the worst not to have a character in it. It's not the worst, but I would try to recommend getting it, though you are already quite heavy character points wise. Could be a question of like changing the Plague Bus out, but I do like the Plague Bus, and it's also an extremely fun unit. But that's really all my food for thought here, to be honest. The Brigands are still really good. You might want something to just potentially like crack armor a little better. So you know what, you might even want to consider you could potentially, if you drop that down to a 3-man. But I kind of want a character still. Oh man, I really want to put a character in there. Yeah, that's the other thing as well. The rapid ingress in a 3-man with Lord of Contagion is a lot easier to do than a 6-man. A 6-man tends to start on the board and kind of just walk into it. Especially in WTC, you can easily put that on the board, move it and advance it behind some good ruins to cover an objective. The 3-man is much more easy. So I would probably cut that for that. That gives you like a 3-man there. One thing you could do, and again, I'm trying to think of budget here. You could potentially like go get a Beast of Nurgle. Use the points that you get from saving the 30 points there to upgrade one of these cultist squads into a Beast of Nurgle, and then use the other spare 15 points for the Deadly Pathogen. Because the Beast of Nurgle... Oh, they didn't need Nurglings then. God damn Nurgling tax. So no, ignore that. Ignore that. Damn Nurgling tax gets me every time. What could we do with the spare 30 points? We don't really want to be just chilling around with 30 points. What could we do? Don't want to cut that down. Don't really want to cut that down. Oh, that's one. WTC. Because you're on WTC, it's actually quite rare that your Marines are going to stay in the Rhino. I reckon, because obviously you can just get them out. You can turn 1, disembark, move, advance, get onto like an objective, and they can sit there all game quite happily. You could potentially cut a Rhino, because then your Malignant Plaguecasters just take the spots in there. Now you have a Plague Bus, and you had that initial burst of movement from your Plague Marines to get them into a decent spot. Depends if you're playing your Plague Marines aggressively or defensively. That is a potential, because that then would free up 75 more points, which then with the 30 points there, then you get 105 points, which is actually going to be able to buy quite a lot of, you can get a 3rd bloat drone at that point, and that would be quite bloody good, because then you got another bloat drone in there. You could also then get a... even with this, you could also just cut the Rhino. No, ignore that, because I would say you could cut the Rhino and just get a 2nd character for the 6-man Death Shroud, but I still prefer the 3-man Death Shroud and like another bloat drone. I think that's probably where I'd go. I'd go to a 3-man Death Shroud with a lot of Contagion, and then cut one of the Rhinos, because again, just disembark these guys, use it to get these guys in a position turn 1, and then get the Plaguecasters in the empty Rhino, so now you've got a Plague Bus and a car, and then use those 75 points to basically go and grab yourself either a 3rd bloat drone, or like, again, another squad of cultists would even be good there. Even a solo Sorcerer Terminator Lord would be really good, because then you have a solo deep striking 40mm base with like that random casino cannon, and it gives you the flexibility that if you're in a melee matchup, you can put him inside like the 6-man squad if the -1 damage is going to be really clutch, and Typhus can go solo then. That wouldn't be a bad shout either, so... I think that's probably what I would recommend on this one, but it is a really good list. Like I said, fairly new to Warhammer, it's a really strong list, and you will have a great starting position with this. It's got a bit of everything, good bit of shooting, vehicle play, transport play, Terminators are really solid, the big fight first brick, and you get more Tyrion as well in there. So it's a really, really solid list. I do like it. So yeah. Yeah, true, Mike. You could also just strat reserve the Playcasters and they can walk on and spray some. I have done that before. It's not a bad shout. So if you feel like you're going to need to keep your Plague Marines in a Rhino, they can always just do that as well. So I don't think you need the second Rhino on WTC personally. I think you could save those points, use the spare points from this, dropping that to a 3-man, and then those guys can get you rid of a Demon Engine or something like that, and that'd be really good. But yeah, great stylist there, Bandit. Great stylist. So next one, we got Mr. Honey Monster, I think he said he was called. Thank you very much to Mr. Craig Wire, sorry, apologies, don't know how to pronounce stuff. For the gifted membership, mate. Congrats to the person that got that. Thank you so much, mate. Really appreciate the support. Really, really, really helps. And Mr. Oliver Lever, thank you for becoming a Plague Marine again, my friend. Thank you so much again for the support. You guys are up legends, and you're the reason this channel can keep going and keep growing, which is awesome. Right, so we got to. It was Honey Monster. Let me just scroll up and check this right now. Someone said that in here. Yes, Honey Monster. So it's Honey Monster. So let's go. Have a look for Mr. Honey Monster. How about because you're in the chat. Honey Monster, Honey Monster. And then we'll go to... Where are you at, Honey Monster? There you are, Honey Monster. Hi guys, and discussion with Aiden. I've recently just started playing Death Guard and 40k altogether. 5 games in. Hey, welcome to 40k, mate. I hope you're enjoying your time in it. It is a good, fun hobby. It might consume your life, though. I'm also having an absolute blast with both the game. Yeah, that answers that question. I was hoping you guys might have a chance to look through my list posted below. I've started hearing your stuff and I'm learning a ton. My own thoughts on my list is that it's pretty good on scoring. Training is a bit tricky as all 3 Death Shrouds have a character attached, and as such is somewhat expensive, though Typhus and 1 unit of Shrouds can deep strike both together and separate. I'm open to all and everything except Predators. I just hate them. Okay, that's fair enough. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. You're always fine to just have pet units that you don't like. I had them for the longest time. There's certain units in the game I just can't stand the look of, and I just refuse to buy it. So we've got 1, 2, 3 characters: Lord of Contagion, Bald Fire, Mortarian, Typhus. Droning, so we have 10 points spare at any point, and Living Plague on one of the Bald Fires. Okie dokie. So we have gone with an extremely aggressive unit of Plague Marines here, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. If you can, drop the Belcher. The Belcher is just not a great weapon in general. I would just change that Belcher straight out for a heavy Plague weapon, if I would be honest with you. Plague Champion, definitely give him the Plasma Gun and the heavy Plague weapon as well. It's just the best loadout in general for him. It's just one of the things that is just generically the best weapon loadout. We've got 3 squads Death Shroud tournament, so I'm guessing we're going Typhus and 2 Lord of Contagions. Okie dokie. Right. So, 2 Bloat Drones, 2 Haulers, 2 units of Poxwalkers, 2 units of Nurglings, and a Brigand. Right, okay. So, just before I get into this, I'm just going to put a real quick check with chat. Some time ago, you said you can pick up an enemy unit from the board. What units what do you mean from that? Anton. Do you mean when I shot a Plague Burst Crawl, what unit of Scions that can up you downy? Is that what you meant? I need a bit more explanation that one. Just bought a Tyrant. No, it's not competitive. But look, mate, Tyrants are fucking cool, man. Tyrants are super, super cool. I don't care. I'd run a Tyrant, man. They're fucking sweet. And it's also 12-inch denial. Is no joke. Like, it's actually pretty good ability to have. Okay, so in this one here, mate. So we're gonna cover the basic. There's a rule that we need to follow, which is in Death Guard, because we have no access to bonuses to charge or anything uppy down, anything like that. You have 2 rapid ingresses all game. That is it. You will only ever have 2. Which means when you make a list, you should only ever give yourself 2 rapid ingresses. That's it. So you have 3 units of 3 Death Shroud here. I would say straight away, I would just consider 2. Because one's going to have to either bank a 9-inch charge or start on the board. And I'm not a huge fan of 3-man starting on the board. Because if someone gets even like an angle on it and gets a shot... sorry, Spinach. Belchers, they're just the spewers are just better, and the other weapons in general are just better. I'm sorry, Spinach. I'm sorry. So I would try to keep it at 2 units that would basically just be rapid ingress threat. Now I'm not saying it's bad. It's still like they're still good Death Shroud, but you would have to probably start one of these squads on the board, which again isn't horrible. I prefer a 6-man for that role for that exact reason. You could up one to a 6-man. The problem is then you got a lot of points in Terminators there, which again isn't the worst thing. So you have got 2 bringers down here, which is nice for some shooting. So one thing I'll say straight up is you don't need 2 units of Nurglings. Nurglings, especially after the nerf, Nurglings are good for stopping Scout, stopping Infiltrate, and I would just cut one of those. Like, you generally only need to either secure 1 Scout or stop 1 Infiltrate on a certain objective. So 1 unit of Nurglings. Again, if you've only got 35 points, fair enough. But I'm just saying right now in my head, I'm thinking, right, we've got 35 points here. We've already got 35 points here, so that's pretty cool. So we could take that potentially. We could combine. You could also you could try and up to 6-3-3, or you could just go 6-3. 6-3 is quite a common build. It also means you don't have to go out and buy any more Death Shroud. So you go 6 and 3 would be quite good. You go Lord of Contagion in 1. But again, if you like Lord of Contagion, you want to use both Lord of Contagions. Lord of Contagions tend to want to go in 3-man. 6-mans kind of tend to kill most things they touch anyway. I like the Plague Spitter drones. Haulers, I don't mind. I'm not a huge fan of Haulers, but they are dirt cheap Demon Engine stats. So it's pretty good for that. We've got 2 units of Poxwalkers. Again, same advice I gave to the fellow just before. If you can proc these as cultists, just say that they are cultists, just because they're generically better and more usable and help you do the turn 1 secondaries. Now, one thing I would rather have instead of a Nurgling unit, then if you can't do that, if you can't Poxwalkers, is I would try and find a way to get this guy up to a Beast of Nurgle, and you can do it because you have up here Living Plague and the Droning. So that is 20 points there, that is 10 points, that is 30 points. Slap that on this Nurgling here, upgrade him to a Beast of Nurgle, and that is a big upgrade to this list straight away. Always go boys before toys. You don't really need... Droning's completely pointless. Droning's the most useless enhancement. I know you've probably put it on there just because you had 10 points spare, but it is just generally just terrible. Living Plague is okay, but when you're running a list that's already got Mortarion in, if you ever get into a scenario where you're needing to extend Contagion range, then you can probably do it with him. And here's the other thing. Living Plague is good on specific lists that are requiring a lot of their output to be from shooting. You basically throw a unit with it forward like an Icon Bearer and he uses it and then he dies. But your list, most of your damage is in melee, and if you're going to be in melee where you want to be anyway, then you are going to be in Contagion. So it's not going to do you much good here. So cut that, cut Living Plague, upgrade one of those Nurglings into a Beast of Nurgle. Now you've got a Scout 6, really tough moving, and like you said before, you worried about your, let me look at the trading pieces. That is a 65 point unit with toughness 9, 7 wounds, heals to full if they don't kill it, and has Scout 6. So you can Scout 6, and it can move through walls because it's a beast. So you can Scout 6, then go onto an objective or onto the middle and just be like, cool, expose something. Come and kill this guy. Because the Beast of Nurgle is one of the hardest models in the game to know how much you need to put into it. Because if you don't kill it, it heals to full. So you guarantee you want to kill it, but to do so, you probably end up exposing way more than you actually should have. So that would be a really, really good upgrade if you could go out and do that. That would be a straight up fire upgrade straight away. Okay? Also, it is the bestest of boys as well. Yes, agreed. So again, yeah, no, because the only exception is no predators. That's fine. Now, you already have quite a scary matchup into melee. So what I would do is, the only thing is your list right now, you are very punchy on the hit, but you are very vulnerable to being hit. You don't have Fight First on the Plague Marines because you don't have Ballast Putrefier. And all your Death Shroud, you have the 2 CP strat, but you don't have the like a -1 damage for like a Sorcerer. So I would actually prefer, I would actually go like a 6-man or 3-man and put a Sorcerer in the 6-man and have a Lord of Contagion in the 3-man. So I'd change one of these Lord of Contagions, honestly, to a to a Sorcerer. He goes in the big 6-man, or if you want to just make it super easy, you can give a Fight First to this squad if you can find 60 points somewhere. Having just one squad of like anti-melee would be quite nice. That would be quite nice for you, just to sort of help you out a bit in the melee matchups. And it's not the worst thing. You get in charge because you do have CP, the 2 CP -1 damage. So if you just care for your command points, it's not a necessary thing, but it's something to consider, is what I'd say. But what you say you were struggling with trading the most, is that scoring trading is a bit tricky. Yeah, so the Beast of Nurgle is going to make the trade starting really nice. It's going to be real good for you. But really, you want to be finding yourself in a position where you can have that push turn. So you want 2 big, tough units. Mortarion will be one of them for you. And I really want a 6-man. I'm not going to lie, I think the 6-man is going to be I think the 6-man is going to be the best shout to make this list like go to the next level. I'd go 6-man, Death Shroud Terminator squad, a 3-man Death Shroud Terminator squad. Then you've got double bloat drone, double haulers, brigand, Nurgling Beast and Nurgle. So what are we actually going to save there? So he comes to there. You can cut a character. So you don't need one of those characters, so you can save yourself 80 points there, which could then get you get for 80 points. What could we get for 80 points? So the Nurglings go away, plus the enhancements to make a beast at Nurgle. That 80 points then could actually get you your Foul Blight spawn in the squad here. That'd be nice and easy on there. That would be a nice and easy one there. That would be probably the easiest thing to do when you still got some spare points. I mean, you obviously also could keep the Lord of Contagion, just swap him down to a Sorcerer Lord, like we said in the previous list, quite literally in the previous list. And then him and Typhus, depending on matchups, can sort of like flip in and out of the 6-man squad. If you're in a melee matchup, you can put the -1 damage guy in there, the Sorcerer. And if you're in a shooting matchup, you can put Typhus in there and then just have the Sorcerer Lord go solo. Again, drops down, 40mm base. It's really hard to screen. You can do an action, or you can just shoot his super psychic laser weapon at someone and try and kill them as well. But I'd be much happier with that, because you're gonna have 4 demon engines plus a Beast of Nurgle for sort of like that early sort of skirmishy trading nonsense. You've still got the massive brick of Death Shroud Terminators, you've got more time, you've got a big brick of Plague Marines, and you've got 2 War Dog Brigands there, so it's going to really smack quite hard. So I think that's where I'd probably put your list for now. Again, when we do this, we try to make small changes. We don't want to tell someone to go out and rewrite their entire list, because that's kind of pointless advice. So they're probably the changes I'd make for now, mate. Just see how that goes for you, Honey Monster, and just remember to play these lists the same as the previous guy. You have to, on your go turn, don't be scared. You have to put stuff out. You have to just say to your opponent, keep your Plague Marines in the Rhino. You push the Rhino forward into the open. You put the Death Shroud out. You put the Mortarian out, and you rapidly rest some other Death Shroud. And you just say, here is the turn. You can pick one to kill. You probably kill one, and the rest crash into you. Okay, so give that a shot, mate. Give that a shot. How are we doing, Mr. Chat? We talked about what aura is better, and you said you don't use weapons. Yeah, so what I mean is, when I talked about which aura is better, I just always take damage, because for me, dead models deal no damage back to me. And if you're doing it right with Death Guard's damage is horrendously high. So you can, when I say pick up, I mean like you can kill units. You remove them from the board. You're picking them up off the board, and that's what makes them so powerful. If that helps explain it to you. So, whereas if you're in weapon skill, ballistic skill, your opponent can just sort of stand outside of range and shoot you and not have to suffer it. Whereas the save one is in your power. You put them into save, you shoot them, you kill them. Your opponent didn't have a chance to react. Whereas if you put -1 ballistic skill, weapon skill, people can play around it. Hi Ellie, how you doing? Please yell at Mike for me, Ellie. Right. Some of my messages aren't displayed in stream chat. Tried hitting you up on difficulty general chat. Which one? DCN general chat. Which one's that one? Do you mean in the thingy? I can see your lists. I can see your chat, mate. I can see your chat, Yolaka. I can see it. That's fine. Yeah, no worries. We'll go for yours, Yolaka. No problem. Just having a quick check in with the chat. So we got that one. Someone else put up, I believe that they just put theirs in, so we'll have a look at theirs too. If you have time, look at my list. Warvane, so we've got Warvane, Yolaka. Okay, cool. Started playing with my son, not really playing mission cards. Would you consider doing a series on top-down mission card? How to score? Yeah, we can do. So, I was thinking of doing something about deploying for missions, secondaries. I feel like a lot of people don't plan for the secondaries first turn. So having a little guide to maybe sort of help that out would be quite cool. So maybe that's something we can do. So we shall go with that. I got a Terminator, Sorcerer, Typhus, and Lord of Contagion, but only 2 units of Death Shroud Terminators. Which one would you drop to lead them? Lord of Contagion seems most likely. I would keep all. I mean, if your points are got for it and you find points, keep all 3 and just have Typhus and the Terminator, Sorcerer flex it. Lord of Contagion in a 3-man is good in every single matchup. The Sorcerer Lord is the one that is not good in every single matchup. So, having the Sorcerer Lord flex in and out of the squad depending if you're against melee or not, and Typhus can go solo or he can go solo, gives you the flexibility to keep him useful. Because again, don't ever forget, it's just a 40mm base that can deep strike. It can drop in, it can do an action, it can score you points. It's 70 points, who cares if he dies? And if he doesn't, you can just drop in, pop his once per game and try and kill something. So I don't think you have to drop any of them. If you drop them because of points, I would probably drop the Terminator Sorcerer over anything. Because you do have access to -1 damage strat. Whereas Lord of Contagion just hits so fucking hard. It's really good. It's a really good unit. What did he do this time? He existed, Ellie. Right, okay. So, the next one, what did I just say we were doing? That's it. So, we got down to the bottom. So, we got Warvane. If that's the wrong one, Warvane will come back to you. For Shades of Trey, we'll do yours in a second as well. Is your name File Locker in here? I think I actually saw you up here, actually. There you are. Cool. My attempt at a list after some point cost changes. I'm visiting a tournament in 2 weeks. My third tournament in total since I started playing 40k. The last 2 tournaments I got second to last place. Okay. So you got Morty, Typhus, Iconbearer. I know this list. 5 Plague Marines, Rhino, 2x10 Cultists. Okay, maybe not. 2 Bludgeons with Spitters, 3 Plague Burst Crawlers, 3 Man Death Shroud, 2 Brigands, and a Carnivore. So it's Plague Storm featuring Brigands, basically. We've cut the Predators for the Brigands. Right. So, in this, the Death Shroud and Carnivore will be more rapid and rest targets, while the Brigands probably just arrive from reserves. Do not put too much stuff in reserves is what I'll say on this one. So Plague Storm works because you basically have so much output coming from your like normally your Predators and your Plague Burst Crawlers, because you can ignore modifiers. It gives them real ones to wound. So you don't have that. You don't have real ones to wound. You don't have ignore modifiers. Now Brigands are still good, but Brigands have to get the range on their opponents. So Predators can shoot from miles away, super happy, but these guys have to sort of get a bit closer due to their limited range. So still at the kind of, this is still perfectly doable. Now the Typhus and the Death Shroud are sort of like the one weird thing in this list, because it's a skew list, and that is not skew. That is like taking away from the strength of the list. The more vehicles you have in general, just the better. But he's not still bad. It's still a good squad. Mortal Wounds are still great. Death Shroud can be quite tough at times, if you can roll invuls anyway. The Iconbearer and the... So here's the thing. I don't know if the Iconbearer is worth it in your list. It might be, but it might not be. I'll come over here, so I'm just very quick in the chat. Which unit should I Doombolt first? Asking for a friend. Whenever you Doombolt, Bladius, you need to make sure that the first thing you Doombolt is what's my most hated unit in the fucking game? The Gladiator Lancer. Always Doombolt the Gladiator Lancer. I hate those things. So the reason I took the Iconbearer is because Predators have such long range that it was sometimes hard to push up Contagion early. Because again, I could play safe. So the Iconbearer allowed me to not only get indirect out there, but also reach stuff for the Predators. Now, your Brigands have to get close anyway, which means naturally this Plague Storm list has to play in a more aggressive manner. Just by the nature of it having to get close to make the Brigands work. You can't do what I did in my list and sit back and shoot people across the board, because your list doesn't have the range for it. You got Brigands. So you need to be more aggressive with the PBCs, with more Tari and stuff like that. Not stupidly aggressive, but be aggressive. Like, you need to sort of push forward a little bit. So because you're naturally going to be doing that to allow your Brigands to work, you're going to be able to get Contagion probably where you need it. So I don't think you need the Iconbearer, I'll be honest with you. I really don't think you need the Iconbearer. So the reason I didn't go with the reason I just went with the 5-man Plague Marines is, again, because I'm more passive in how I play. This list has to play more aggressive. My list also lacked OC. You have 2 Brigands as well, so you have plenty of OC. So I don't think you need the Plague Marine Rhino package in this list. I really don't think you do. That would free you up 165 plus the 45. So you're going to free up 210 points there. Because I promise you that's probably not going to do much for you in this game. I would use those 210 points to get yourself even more vehicles. Like another bloat drone, for example. Even haulers, like even a hauler or two. Like if you don't have preds, I mean, obviously I'm just gonna say put preds in because preds are amazing. But don't worry about preds if you're not got them. But you need to be sort of aggressive in this list. I wouldn't actually mind you taking those 210 points and putting the Death Shroud brick up to 6. That would be fine. And then you still have 100 points spare, so then you get a third bloat drone or something like that. Because again, you need to be able to you need to push. This is quite an aggressive list. It has to be by nature of its range and its targets. So I would make sure you are building that into your list when you're using it. Now, again, don't run out in the open. Don't get yourself killed, please. You've got 3 Predators, right? The reason I do like the Predators better, and again, it kind of depends how you're feeling about it. The Predators just have the range, so it depends. If you know yourself as a player, you need to understand if you play better aggressively or you play better defensively. Sometimes being aggressive is just incredibly scary to certain people. People do not like being pushed, and you can win games because people do not know how to deal with being pushed. Especially if you're pushing 3 PB, and if you're going to do this, by the way, if you're going to go with the PBCs and be aggressive with them, go 2 spitters, 1 entropy. Swap that round, and you'll have better results with it. So you can put, because again, you're going to push up, you're going to be slamming into people, driving into people, and that will enable your brigands to sort of get in range more. So you could go with a 6-man Death Shroud. You could also bring in another 3-man Death Shroud with a LOC, and or yeah, as Mike said, up it to a 6-man and have an LOC in there. I just don't think the Icon Bearer, the Rhino, and the Cultist, and the Rhino, sorry, and the Plague Marines are going to do much for you in this list. Take those points out. Either double down on more demon engines, so blight haulers, stuff like that. I wouldn't just whack 1 predator in. 1 predator's probably not going to like do much for it. You want to go wide with stuff because you're going to be losing potentially 2 units here. You know, Plague Marines, Icon Bearer plus a Rhino, potentially up to 3. You feel more comfortable playing defensively. Right, okay. So if you are more of a defensive player, then if you're more defensive by nature, then you want to be force your opponent to come out and do stuff. So I would definitely put another bloat drone in, because again, they're the things that force your opponent out, which you can then punish with the carnival and the brigands. So definitely, drop the Plague Ring, drop the Rhino, drop the Icon Bearer. You don't need it. Go with this. Go with triple bloat drone or like a haul or something like that. Again, just force people out to kill them things. So one, like, again, imagine it. Put 1 hauler out. Your opponent has to commit something to kill it. Now, if your opponent has, for example, this is the way you need to sort of think about it. When you put a bloat drone onto a middle objective, for example, I can't really pull anything right now, but let's say it's a center objective. You put a bloat drone on that. Now, your opponent, behind their big ruin in the middle where they can stage stuff, is probably going to have something there that can, come out and contest it. And the one mistake I see people always do in that time is they just shoot mortars at either, like, trash stuff, which is fine, you find shoot trash, or they'll try and do chip damage to something they think is important. Instead, what I want you to do is when you put a bloat drone out, I want you to think, if I'm my opponent, what is my easiest way to stop this bloat drone doing something? Oh, well, I've got these 5 jump pack intercessors behind this wall here. I'll just put them on the middle objective. That's 5 OC. Bloat drone is 3 OC. So you go, cool, right. So those guys there are the problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure when I put my bloat drone up onto the point, I'm going to have, like, Mortari maybe extend its contagion range, or, it's going to fly right against the wall to put them in contagion range. Then I want you to use your mortars when you play this call to delete that unit, or at least damage it heavily. So now your opponent goes, oh, I've only got 1 guy left in that squad, or they're fully dead. Now I need to put either another unit out into the middle, which maybe I haven't got around because it's dead, because I was banking on that doing it, or now I have to expose something to shoot this thing. And all I want you to do is constantly think, okay, if I kill X unit, what will he use next? Because if his next thing is to bring out a Vindicator to shoot you, you now know, okay, cool, well, I'm just going to leave this space here with a Brigand in it, so the Brigand can, in my turn, walk out and shoot that Vindicator if he decides to do that. Think 2 activations ahead on your opponent. So every time you put something into a middle, into an objective, put your head in your opponent and go, how do I take that off my own bloat drone? And then, once that's failed, once I've took that apart, then what? Because you'll often be able to predict what your opponent does, and sometimes you can even force 3-for-1s. Like, I've killed one unit of jump intercessors. He's got another unit. I've managed to kill 2 with a mortar because I Bile Blight. You know, Bile Blighted the first one, it died to the first 2, and then I killed 2 from the next one, 'cause I got lucky. Cool, now I can sit here and potentially overwatch it if he tries to take it with that. Cool. Now he needs a 3rd unit. That'll force them into making bad trades, and at that point, then you can start to... Your defensive nature is forcing them to basically drain themselves of resources whilst you're exposing nothing. And the turn you do expose something, you have a big impact, like killing a killing a like a Vindicator or something. That's a big swing. And knowing when you're a defensive player, once you have done enough damage to just send it as Plague Storm is something you'll learn over time. So once the opponent has lost enough resources, then just fucking send it. Just send every tank out, because especially if they have very little anti-tank, always remember that's the priority to kill, because then you can just run over them. But always try and think of it like that. And again, I'll try and do a proper like deployment video on like how to do this and like sort of think out. But think of it like that. But in case of your list, I'd go over another bloat drone, and then you can either go over a second squad of Death Shroud potentially, or up this into a big 6-man. That would probably be pretty damn good for you. I don't feel like you need the Icon Bearer / the Plague Marines to ride out, because the PVC is the only thing that's going to get super benefit from it. And it's still good though, but you also don't need the Rhino and the Icon Bearer, Rhino and the Plague Marines and the Icon Bearer. I only took the Rhino and the Plague Marines because I had fuck all OC, because I didn't have any Brigands, but you do. So you can actually keep the Icon Bearer and just drop the Rhino and the Plague Marines, upgrade your 6-man Death Shroud, for example, or get a bloat drone. That's also fine. If you feel like you really want to use the Icon Bearer to plant the flag, Boil Blight a key target, and mortar it off, that's totally fine as well. But yeah, it's a solid list, that, mate. Let us know how you get on with that. Do you ever stream your battles? I don't have streaming equipment for my battles. I don't have the ability to record at home. I've played on stream at events before, which people can dig up, but I myself don't have streaming equipment for my games. Unfortunately, it's very expensive, and I don't have the space to do it at my home either. So sometimes you'll catch me on stream games, but that's about all I can get you for stream games, really. Sometimes we do TTS on the Discord, and we can stream those if people are interested. So let us know. Chukanori's list there. I don't need to go over this because Mr. Chukanori just went 4-1 at the South Coast GT. Very well done, Mr. Chukanori, in the chat. I don't think I need to go over your list at all, Mr. Man, because you clearly know what you're doing. Excellent work there, mate. Right, okay, who did I say I was doing next? I said that one. I said Yalaka, and then I said someone else's who was in the chat. And I've bloody lost you. Where you at? Reading through the chat. Can anyone tell me who it was? Because I have terrible memory. So that was... We've looked at Honey Monsters. Was that Honey Monsters then? No, that was Yalaka. So we've done Honey Monsters and Yalaka. Oh, I think I said Thingy down at the front. What, the new fella. The new joiner. Mr... We've got a Warvane. We said do yours, yep. And 50. So we'll probably do these two. And probably... so do these two here. So 50 Shades of Trey. Or Troy. Or Trey. No, it's definitely Trey. What's going on with streamer? There we go. Sorry, just reset that. Okay, so 50 Shades of Trey. A bit of a meme list, but I feel like it could work weirdly and wanted to get your thoughts. Blast them all. Okay, so Plague Company, yep. Bio's Putrefire, Living Plague, Lord of Virulence, Mortarion. So we've got the +1 to hit for blast weapons and ignore cover. Plague Marine, 5-man. 5 Blightlord Terminators, a Defiler, a Hellbrute, Annihilator, a Destructor, Bloat Drone, Hauler, Crawler. Drones to spread contagion. Right, okay, so we've basically got... Okay, so... Straight up, I'm going to say Blightlords, just swap them to Death Shroud. Blightlords are just not great at the moment. If you lose them because you like them, fair enough, nothing wrong with that. But in general, and unfortunately right now, there is like no reason to run. There's no reason to really run Blightlords. They're just kind of bad, unfortunately. So if they can go to Death Shroud, that'd be really good. Now, you've got Lord of Virulence coming in with their Terminator squad, whichever one you choose to keep. Now, blast-wise, you've got a Defiler and 2 Plague Burst Crawls. So that's not bad. Defiler is actually very good with the Lord of Virulence buff. Plague Burst Crawls also like it. Ignores cover is a great rule to have. We do obviously have access to it normally. So you kind of want to be using these PBCs to shoot directly, because here's the thing, is if you're getting things in contagion range anyway, you had access to Ignore's cover anyway, because of Bioblight. So it's very important to get the +1 to hit out of that guy as well. So him actually marking targets and having direct line of sight, because the +1 to hit won't help you if you're indirect. That's totally fine. So make sure you're looking at that. You got a bit of blast on the halls if they decide to frag grenade it. We've got the Hellbrute. So the Hellbrute generally isn't needed. You've got how many bloat drones? You've got 2 bloat and 2 haulers. You have plenty of upfront contagion spreading, and the Hellbrute is just honestly not needed. He's just overcosted for what he does. You could swap the Hellbrute out for 2 units of cultists, and that is an instantly better list because you've got stuff to be able to score. You've got scouting. You've got the ability to put stuff up. You can literally get turn 1. You've got potential 18-inch move because you scout 6, move 6, advance D6. That will get contagion to pretty much wherever you do need it. I'm not a fan of Hellbrutes, to be honest. And if you are going to run a Hellbrute, though, don't take the missile launcher. Swap that out for a fist. Just because basically with the fist, you have at least the ability to countercharge, and he can sort of protect your tanks. And because he does mortals on the charge, you can charge, do his mortal wounds, then tank shock, do more mortal wounds, and then still punch something with a flat 3 damage weapon. So that's pretty good. Annihilator, just play as a Destructor. Annihilator is just not worth it. They're alright, but Destructors in general are just better for the 5 points difference, so I'd just use 5 points here. Upgrade that bad boy. Living Plague is, again, not really needed on the Biology Creature fight, because you got plenty of stuff that can play forward. You got all these Demon Engines. So that's 20 points spare there. So you can take the 20 points there. You can use 5 of it to upgrade this to a Destructor. It's just, again, generically just a better vehicle. PBC is fine. Hellbrute, there's 30 points there if you turn them into 2 units of cultists. So you got another 30 points there, plus the 15 from Living Plague. That's 45 more points right there. If these guys go down to the Death Shroud squad, that's going to save you another 40 points. And now you've got another unit of Death Shroud. You got 110 points there. So you can literally have... you got another hauler potentially. There's another Demon Engine, which is going to sort of push out and stuff like that. That would be pretty damn cool. And that's going to really go wide build there. I would quite like that. That would be pretty cool. Do you have a Rhino? No Rhino. Right, okay. So we always say this. Do not walk Plague Marines. They will die just instantly. Like, if you're not going to take a Rhino, just cut the Plague Marines and cut the the Biology Creature. They won't get anywhere. They'll just die. I promise you. I've tried to make it work. It does not work. You could use the points to get a Rhino fallen, and that would be fine. I'm alright with that. But in general, like, you've got a lot of shooty. It's a lot of shooty. It's a very, very shooty list. And the good thing about this list is if you have 2 Predators, a Defiler, double Plague Burst Crawl, and then the Halls and stuff, you've got enough things to force bad trades. Flesh Mowers are great for forcing an opponent to react because they look really scary and people don't like them. And then you just blast away whatever is a point. I just changed the Blight Lords to Death Shroud. Try and find a way to get a Rhino for this squad, or just cut this squad on the character. You definitely don't need the enhancement. Just cut the enhancement completely. But even a 6-man Death Shroud squad would also be good. So like you could drop the Hellbrute if you don't want to get cultists. You could drop the Hellbrute, get him into a 6-man Death Shroud squad, replacing the Blight Lords, because 6-man Death Shroud with Lord of Virulence for the sprayer is going to be real good for Overwatch threats. You can rapid ingress it in an Overwatch something. It's going to protect your vehicles really well like that, which is going to be nice. So there's a couple changes you could make there, but the core of it, of having loads of shooting vehicles like Defiler, 2 Predators, all these Demon Engines, 2 Plague Burst Crawls, is actually strong. Like, it's genuinely strong. Death Guards shoot better than they melee. Well, not exactly true, but Death Guards shoot pretty damn hard. Especially if you take -1 save contagion, which you should always be taking in this detachment. Well, this playstyle anyway. I'll be honest, like, you should always take a -1 save anyway. -1 save in general is just better. And people swear by -1 weapon skill plus skill. That is totally fine. If it works for you, it works for you. But the general rule is that -1 save is king. For competitive play anyway. So yeah. Really, that's all. So you're actually not far off something. I don't think it's as memey as you think it is. I just don't think you need the Hellbrute. I don't think you need the Plague Marines and the Ballast Fire unless you can get a Rhino for them. And I would just upgrade the Blight Lords into Death Shroud, and it saves you 45. Sorry, saves you 45 points at the same time. They're just way better in general. So I try and up that to a 6-man as well with some of their spare points. But yeah, no, it's a cool list, man. It's a cool list. Let us know how it gets on. You got plenty of things to spread up contagion, and you will shoot very, very hard. And a lot of things hit on 2s as well, which is great. So then we got War Veins. We'll do War Veins here. Apologies, throat's getting a bit dry. So we got Typhus, Ballast Fire. You guys in Living Plague at the moment, what is it? Have I missed something? Has Living Plague been changed to be like plus 5 AP on the attacks? You guys really like Living Plague. Foul Blight Spawn, 5-man Plague Marines, 5-man Plague Marines. Is that supposed to be a 10-man Plague Marine War Vein? Did I miss that channel up before? Is it a 5-man? Is it 2 5-mans or is it a 10-man? Just let me know. 3 Death Shroud Terminators, 20 Potswalkers. Oh, for God's sake. 8 Haulers. 2 Plague Burst Crawlers. And a Rhino. And then a Great Unclean one and a unit of Nurglings. Okay, so, I mean, straight up, I prefer Rotogus still, but T13 is a drug. This is pretty funny, I'm not gonna lie. It's supposed to be a 10-man. It's pretty funny. It's pretty goddamn funny. If it's a 10-man, I understand more. You got your Rhino, good, you got a Rhino in there. I mean, what's there to say? I would consider. Oh, you can't swap. You can't. I was gonna say split the set last squad into 2 1-mans, but you can't because it's the free cap. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be great. I'm not gonna lie, it's not gonna be great. Haulers can be whiffy, and they don't have good profiles into everything. They can, like, if you run into a lot of vehicles, you might melt them, but like a lot of infantry, this list is probably gonna struggle with. Just from weight of fire. I don't think you need the entropy cannons and the Plague Burst Crawlers. They can definitely become flamers to help you deal with infantry. So I'd do that. The 10-man Fight First is going to be really good for capturing your home objective, though. So not home, your natural objective, and just sort of chilling around on there. It's a lot of vehicles to throw at someone, and someone's even it's a stat check. You got that plus the Grand Claimant. It's a lot of things to throw at someone. I think you just throw all these at people, you overwhelm them. It actually has weirdly a lot of OC because you've got all the halls of 3 each, and that's 9 OC in a squad, which allows OC most things at the moment. So you can basically just sort of So the way this works is you're gonna put the 10-man Fight First on your natural objective. Poxwalkers can hold home, and then you just like send it all and keep standing on the objectives. There's no way, no one in hell kills all this that quick. Like, they'll kill it decently, but if you can stop your opponent scoring, and especially if you're going second, you're going to stop them scoring quite a lot of things. Quite a lot of things. Not enough Nurglings anyway. There's a single unit in this one, Mr. Kyle. So, it's a funny list. The Great Unclean can just sit on the middle objective on his own with his T13 and just tank it the best he can. The Haulers just go and harass, and they also move block really well because they're massive bases and they're in a squad. So you can move block enemy vehicles getting out. You've got multi-melters. They're not quite easy to chew through. The best bit is because they have smoke, you can smoke one unit, and then you can, you can Cloud of Flies the other, so you can have 2 units of Haulers, both with -1 to hit, which is pretty clever actually. You guys, I like that. You just pick a single model. You pick a model in the unit, Travis, to tank shock. So it'll be one T9 tank shock. I don't think it's actually as bad as you think it is. I mean, I'd like to see a Lord of Contagion lead the Death Shroud, but Typhus is fine. You can drop in Doom Models. I just really like Lord of Contagions, makes them really reliable. But I actually think if you play this fairly aggressive and sort of try to like just keep sitting stuff on objectives and denying your opponent primary or jailing them with Haulers, I don't think it's actually as bad as you think, mate. I really don't think it is. It's gonna struggle if you come across someone that's got a lot of anti-tank, but no one's killing 8 Haulers, 2 Plague Squads, and a Great Unclean one before it connects. No chance. So I actually think, you know what, it might have more thingy, more impact than you think. So I wouldn't knock it off, mate. I think I don't think there's too much, to be honest, I'd really change. Like, again, Living Plague you don't really need, but again, what you can do for 20 points, like like seriously. there's not too much in here. I'd probably split the Poxwalkers up into just 2 separate squads, just to have more action things, because you don't want a big unit of 3 Halls doing an action. You'll have a Rhino that can do action that's pretty good, but you don't want like stuff like that doing action. So I'd split up into 2 squads of 10, or again, cultist it up. That would be better, and that would be an improvement there. Again, that's why I wanted to split these into 2 1-mans, but we can't, because again, just action reasons. But like, if you just play this aggressively, I don't even know if you deep strike the Grey Unclean. I don't think you do. I think you just run it up and just run everything at them. It's a bit of a meme, like you said, but it is pretty goddamn. It could actually be quite effective and work in some games. There's not much to change, to be honest with it. It does what it wants to do, that's for sure. What you could actually do, okay, this is what I would do. These 2 haulers, drop them, and drop Living Plague. Replace the 2 haulers here with 2 1-man units of bloat drones. That then you could keep your 20-man Poxwalker brick, because that then just splits that up. You have an extra unit for actions and stuff like that. That would be the change I'd make. So I'd do that change there, and I would be quite a happy bunny with it, to be honest with you. It is a meme. You accept that you're playing a meme, but I think this meme could actually win a few games as well, Mr. Warbane. So that's actually pretty cool. So yeah, it's very cool. It's very cool. That's pretty funny. Right, so we're coming to the end of the hour, so I'm probably gonna be heading off sort of soonish. I'm sort of throat's getting a bit sore here. We've covered a few lists tonight, some funny ones, some serious ones, which is quite nice to see. Sometime can you record your battle on TTS and have an analysis of that on stream? I can try, yeah. I mean, I can try record one with like me and Mike playing or something like that. We played a little bit. You don't want to see the latest game, that was kind of bad. But we were learning how to play, we were learning how to play on WTC terrain, so you can forgive us. It is definitely mass hauls. I think you could run 6 hauls, 2 bloat drones, and that's actually a legit list. Or even go 2-2-2. You go 2-2-2, and then 2 bloat drones. That would also work. I think it's legit, man. I don't think it's as bad as you think it is. That could actually be pretty fucking funny. That'd be really, really cool. Did I miss something up here? Oh, Falconite Eddie, thank you so much for going to remember there, mate. Apologies, I missed that one. Thank you so much. Again, remember, go to our YouTube channel homepage, go to our posts tab, scroll down, you'll find a link to join the Discord, get yourself in here, which would be awesome. So that would be really cool to get you in here. Just play what do you mean, like just play like on TTS on the stream? I don't know if people enjoy that stuff. We'll have to see, because they're quite long, and TTS streams can sometimes. I've seen people do well on TTS streams, but I've also seen people like struggling to stay at like 10 viewers because games of Warhammer are quite long. But we'll see. Oh, okay, I didn't know that, Gray. That's interesting. Haulers is the same points to bring it down for 2 and 3-man squads, so actually having 3-man squads is actually better in terms of denying your opponent bring it down. That's very interesting to know, Mr. Gray. Thank you so much. That is awesome. That's very, very cool. Yeah. That's cool. I genuinely didn't know that. That's good to know for the future. Have we got an event final yet? Let's have a look. Look at these real quickly. So this is the event that's going on at the moment. Orcs win. Absolutely smashed it. Orcs win. Absolutely smashed it. Orcs win. Good effort, Toby. Good effort, mate. But again, this is so dumb. I can't wait for this to get nerfed. I really can't get nerfed. Wait for this to get nerfed. That's so dumb. Yeah. Silly game. But yeah, I mean, so we'll sort of wrap up soon. In terms of just things to let you guys know. So obviously, Plague Surge is going to be continuing. We are approaching sort of Codex expectation time, like the next month or two. Wednesday, Thursday, we get some reveals. Hopefully that shows us World Eater stuff, gives us a date, and then we can start get planning stuff. So I think in the meantime, because we're sort of in this weird transition period, we're obviously going to keep doing our Tuesday streams. They'll always be there for people to join in on, for us to chat about stuff. We will be doing our, I'll be doing a deployment video, because that is sort of evergreen content that doesn't really change. So I will do deployment videos shortly. Will has just put up an episode of Poxwalker to Plague Marine about his Manchester GT experience. So if you want to know how Will's a self-proclaimed mid-table menace, mid-table warrior, 3 and 2 sort of average results. And he's obviously talks about his journey with Death Guard and trying to learn from his mistakes. So if you were interested in checking that out, check out his latest video on the channel, which would be quite nice. But I mean, part of that, if people are interested in sort of doing TTS streams, that's potentially something we can do. I have to just find the space for it in our stream schedule. But I am very much, probably like the rest of you, waiting for this codex to come out, and then the content on this channel will probably explode a little bit more than it currently has been. I've been a bit of a lull at the moment just because turns out talking about the same detachment for 2 years kind of started to struggle a little bit. I'm not going to lie. So keep your eyes open for the near future. Hopefully we get some cool stuff very shortly and stuff to talk about. Even if it's just preview Warhammer community articles, that would also be awesome. But if anyone has any other questions in the chat, put them in now while you can. If not, I will probably leave you guys with some tunes to play out. We will do another Plague Surgery coming weekend again. Again, it's impossible to get through everyone's list because there's just so many good lists. So we tried to pick up people even in the chat. If you have watching this back and cover your list and you really want your list covering, feel free to message me directly on Discord and say, hey, I can't make your stream always live. Please just let me know. Please can you check this out on the next one? That would be awesome. And I will try to my best to make sure I do. Played my first tournament this weekend. My first game ever was versus Daka. I plan on countering Zod with Titan 10 Pox focus screen. It worked great. Wow, nice man. I'm glad it worked out for you. A lot of people are really struggling with Daka at the moment. It is quite oppressive. It is quite oppressive. So I'm glad that you managed to turn it against him and sort of use his Gretchen against him by turning them into zombies, which is quite funny actually. Zombie Gretchen. I do like the idea. That is quite funny. But I mean, I'm not even playing for a bit now. I've got my next event is like in 3 weeks' time. It's a teams event down in Wales, so I'll be taking Death Guard to that, playing on WTC terrain, so it'll be quite a different list. I think I'm going with quite an anti-melee build, so big squad of Death Shroud, big squad of Fight First, Plague Marine, sort of like a classic OG list for Death Guard, so we'll see how that's going on. How would you play more Daka as it is at the moment? I would not bother. I will be honest with you, I will be amazed if this doesn't get nerfed within a week or two. And I would really hope this South Coast GT is a great starting point. And I'm really hoping when I get to work tomorrow and I open up Meta Monday on Reddit, I just see Daka and everything, and I'm going to sit there and smile because I know it's going to get nerfed. So honestly, right now, I'm not going to bother thinking about it because I'm hoping it's just going to get nerfed into the goddamn ground like it deserves. If it doesn't, and we're in the same position in a week or 2 weeks' time, then we'll put some serious thought into how we can deal with it. But right now, I don't think it survives as it does right now. It is so oppressive and it's so dumb, and the people that are winning with it are even insane. So I wouldn't worry too much about Mr. Denton. Just go with the flow for a week or two. Let's see what happens with the balanced team. Hopefully they address it, because we have seen address them emergency patches before, such as Star Shatter. So hopefully we get one for Daka. But yeah, for now, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. For joining us for the Plague Surgery. Thank you for the new members who have joined. Again, make sure you get yourself in the Discord. But yeah, for now, I will leave you all to some tunes on the way out. Thank you so much for coming along. I look forward to Tuesday stream when we get myself, Will and Dave are all back again. And then we get to have a bit more chat and a bit more banter, which will be really nice. And I'm very excited for what Wednesday and Thursday reveal brings, because I really want some new Death Guard things to talk about. Please, I am desperate for your Death Guard content, and I'm so excited for this codex. I'm so excited. I just want it so badly. But for now, everyone, take care. I'll catch you all on the next stream. Stay around, everybody, and I will see you all very soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
From the depths of raw and decay they rise. The Death Guard marches on the sickened skies. With boils and blight, they spread the pain. In Nurgle's name, disease will reign. Adrenaline and pestilence flows. With every breath the plague wind blows. Embrace the rot, let flesh decay. The Death Guard comes, none can stay. From the depths of rot and decay they rise. The Death Guard marches under sickened skies. With boils we shall begin. Rotten ruin,